This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast. Okay, we're going to edit all of that out.
And look how much better that is.
And now we're going to start our Partnership Podcast. Welcome.
I doubt it. See, this is the thing. When I hear the final cut, I'm always like, oh my God, he kept that in. So we'll see. We shall see what you keep in, my friend.
Good morning. Which one of our problems would you like to talk about today, honey?
Are we talking about problems?
I don't think so.
I feel like we had a really good podcast topic yesterday. We were driving in the car and we were like, we got a podcast about.
We got to start writing this shit down. I love it that we workshop how we have forgotten what we wanted to talk about literally while we sit in the chairs on air.
It's good content. It's not good. A host, I was on their podcast yesterday and they said, oh my goodness, I didn't know you had a partnership podcast. Tell me more about that. And do you have guests? And I was like, no. I said, maybe someday we'll have guests. Mm-hmm. They would need to be in studio though. So I don't know how this is really going to happen. And she said, well, what do you guys talk about? And I said, whatever you want to talk about. Yeah. We sit down in our chairs and I said, mostly we talk about things we're overcoming just in partnership, whether it's sexually or relationally, and how we're seeing that play out in real time and tools we're utilizing. So most of the time we plop down and there's something we've worked through.
Ask me what I think we talk about.
We know what he's going to say, right? Trey, what do you think we talk about, darling?
Mostly I make references to my penis and then Lauren cries.
That's what I said. Yeah. That's what I mouthed. You're going to see me. I'm funny.
You are very funny.
I'm funny.
I think you're very funny.
We could talk about how you were gone. You just went on a little trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I held down the fort. And that's always an interesting thing for me because it's in that time that I always remember the things that I learned how to do in my season of singleness to take care of myself, how important those things are, how thankful I am for those times apart, that it's really fun to miss you. It really is, that space. I love that part. I love being able to really just go under with my work. And then I get to a point where I miss you, which is really fun. And I want you to come home. And I'm like, okay. I think I sent you a text one day that was like, I'm bored, come home.
Yeah, it's wonderful to go away because it gives us the space to miss each other. Yeah. And it was like 4 or 4 days? 4 days. And there's certain like synapses that fire off in my brain where it's like, wait a minute. Like this version of my life, this person. I mean, when I went back to Long Beach, it's fucking miserable. So you're like a drug. Is that what we're going to talk about today? How much we miss each other and love each other?
No, but okay. Here's something that comes up often. Is in partnership, we often, because the models that we're given are really these like fused, codependent, enmeshed models, right? We see, and I know we say it, but we also try to catch ourselves like, oh, my partner's my best friend. And you see couples stop having anyone other friends. You see a lot of, we go on vacation together. We do this together. We do this together.
Hold on, pause. Why does that happen? So if your partner, because she's my best friend, and that's healthy, and I celebrate it, but if you were going to be my only friend, I would punch a wall. Why does that happen in coupledom?
You're in a male body, so do you want to answer first of why you think it happens? Or
No.
Are you literally like, I don't know why it happens?
I am ignorant to it, and no.
Yeah. So, I think that we have a structure in this country. I'll only speak for the United States because I don't live other places. And so every culture is very different. But our culture has some scripts for a married man. And you're to provide. And that's a lot of hard work. And dependent upon how many more kids you add to this provision load, that's even more work.
Yeah.
And we always say love is abundant, but time is not. Time is a scarce resource. So you only have so much time. So if you have a full-time job, which in this culture is 40 hours a week, that is a lot of time.
Minimum.
You are giving a lot to that. Then you're having to divide the rest of your time between your partner, your children, maybe a hobby, but many people don't have any more time left. So I think some of it is that. I think some of it is the female in the hetero dynamic who also believes in this script that she has seen perpetuated through social media, through rom-coms, right? That every fall we're going to put on our matching outfits and we're going to go through the fields. And then at Christmas, we're going to do this. And then we're always going to do these things together. I think there is this, I mean, we've shocked people before when you've shown up to something without me or I've shown up to something without you. They're like, where's Lauren? Where's Trey? And we're like, tired? Not coming. I don't know.
Yeah.
Taking care of themselves. There is so much obligation to perform partnership. And so I think some of it is out of wanting, like they really enjoy each other. And that's great. I think I never want to dismiss that. And yet the nurturance of other relationships when you do have a primary partnership is vital. On Wednesdays, I go out with Wednesday S. How many times do I come home for that revitalized, horny, having talked through something with her where she's like, that's not cool. Maybe you should consider talking to Trey about how you fucked that up, right? It's authentic. Yeah, weekends away with best friend M. I mean, weekends away with best friend J. It is necessary. Okay, question to you. What do other friendships outside of me, both female and male, because we've talked about that, what do they provide for you?
The first thing that comes to mind is like, I don't have to, there's a different version of myself that I can be with my guy friends.
Yes.
We're much more rude and aggressive and, yeah, like, well, like say if I want to booze it hard, meaning have 5, if I want to booze it hard, I can do that without apology around my buddies, where I do need to watch it around my wife in most circumstances because of past, both of us know, like your past trauma in your previous relationship. And then when I've gotten too drunk, I've triggered that. What else? Yeah, like it's just an entirely different dynamic because my role of husband and provider doesn't stop like if we say it does or no, that's, I mean, there's, okay, so when we go on vacation, we go to an all-inclusive and if I just want to drink all day and become sloppy Trey, I can, we just schedule it. So, okay, I get to be a different version of myself with my guy friends. And also sex isn't on the table. So I'm not trying to get laid when I'm hanging out with my boys. Yet.
That's cool.
Yet.
You
Biding my
got some
time.
sexy boys.
I'm biding my time. I got sweet 40-year-old boys.
And you got best friend Jay sending you kissing videos. He's like, shouldn't we just kiss each other
Yeah.
goodbye?
Yeah. I got a beautiful harem of gay men.
You know what it made me think of is roughhousing. Like playfighting, like tossing, and how good that is.
I get to be less gentle.
You do.
Yeah.
You get to roughhouse. In
My
essence.
love language with my friends is like being really mean to each other.
All of you do it.
Nothing pleases me more.
God bless when I sometimes hear him voice text something or I'm like horrified and then I lean over his shoulder to read what is being responded to in the group text and it's just as mean. It is a whole language that you all have that is roughhousing, which there is endless research on how great that is. For young boys, old boys, it is good. It is play fighting. And there is such a great, play fighting is so good because it keeps us from fighting in the real world. It is good to get that out. And no, I don't care to be the person who you get that out with. Ugh. And I think that when men don't have outlets, I'm just going rogue here. To do this, I think it ends up coming out inside of their partnerships, and then their female-bodied partners end up getting mad at them.
Okay, so they get mad at them because they don't have guy friends?
No, because they're like, why did you talk to me like that? Or,
oh, I get it.
Don't treat me like one of you dudes, or all these things. And I'm like, go push him out. He needs dude friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you said fusion.
Yeah.
Talk to me more about fusion. What is that?
So we've shared before that there's this beautiful diagram in Polysecure, but it's from other places as well. And Jessica Fern talks about this distancer-pursuer dance. And so there are humans on this earth that crave connection. And yet the shadow side of connection is fusion. Then there are humans on this earth who crave autonomy. And the shadow side of autonomy is isolation. what's fascinating is in any given circumstance, we can find ourselves pulling and tugging a partner to one extreme or the other. Sometimes we didn't grow up. We talked about this with Nobody Likes This or Wants This last week. Sometimes we didn't grow up with one, so our parents were very distant, so we tend to want to pull our partner towards us to fuse to them because we are craving the connection we never got in childhood and adolescence. Sometimes our parents were overprotective and suffocated us, so we want autonomy, which can feel like isolation. But then sometimes we're fine. We got into partnership. It was a healthy dynamic. And there are just certain instances where one or the other partner feels this desire to fuse because of, well, it's the way the Jones do it, or it's the way, I don't know, the church encourages us to do it.
What do? Do you go to fusion or do you go to isolation when in times of like shadow connection side?
Yeah, we're a funny pair. Overarchingly, like umbrella, I go to isolation. I go to leave me alone, avoidant. Yet there are certain times for sure, and I want everybody to know this. One of my pet peeves with attachment styles is that what research is showing us is that in any given situation, we might show up slightly differently. So I definitely think there are times, money conversations, for instance, where I go all of a sudden to fusion and anxiety, and what I am afraid of is the way my father was horrible with money. And so I start to control, I start to fuse. I want you to run everything by me. I want, like almost a meshment fusion. And that is because of the fact that my father would go rogue with money growing up. And so everything would all of a sudden blow up. It was feast or famine, feast or famine. So I think I definitely feel myself in those instances. The kitchen, we podcasted about it a few months ago.
That was fascinating.
Didn't you feel me all of a sudden, uncharacteristically so?
It's like I slapped you.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like you slapped me and then I pulled you then I was like trying to control everything.
Correct. And the context was, I just had a premonition to put like $5,000 in
very safe
index funds, Vanguard index funds, which is about the safest, investment vehicle that you have. And this was the money that I had earned, and we don't have joint bank accounts, and we spend money independently. And yeah, it was an amazing little, because I was like, oh, by the way, I was sharing it as a like happy times. And it was also, I didn't even know this at the time. It's when the entire market dipped 10% when Trump came out and did his unique brand of bullshit. So that's what happened. And I told her this, and it was like I slapped you. It was like, you know what it was? It was like I bet the mortgage or like the next 6 months of mortgage on like the Dodgers or something. I felt like, did I do something wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that's what you remember about it. Audience, pay attention. This is so cool. Also, memory. I want to be clear. This is not an argument. This is fascinating.
We can argue about it, though. We can get into it.
Yeah, but usually...
Because I'll go to isolation. You'll try to go to fusion. It'll be good.
It'll be good. No, what I remember, and this is what's so fascinating, is you told me about that investment, yada, yada. And then you were telling me about the different ways we needed to tighten the budget up. That's what did it.
Got it.
Not the investment. Growing up... This is what would happen.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me.
We would have seasons of feast where we could have anything we wanted, and asking was good, and all of it. Yes. Why haven't you asked? Why haven't you asked before? And blah, blah, blah.
Your dad bought like a Lincoln Navigator too.
Then all of a sudden, he would be unwise with money. He would. Then who would have to pay?
Correct.
All of us. We would go back to eating bulk 7-grain cereal, beans and rice every meal, our check on the wall at the grocery store, because we were not allowed to use a check at the grocery store.
And their shame gets
really
connected to that.
The thing that drew with my body was ironically not the investment.
Yeah.
It was the surprise of the investment, followed by, and to my memory, you weren't even telling me to tighten the budget. You were showing me how you were going to be tightening the budget. You don't control my behaviors.
You know
like
what I was
that.
doing? I was like spending, I think I spent like $1,000 on a golf club, shit like that.
Right.
Where I was like, it was for me. It was not
100%.
for your exorbitant spending.
And you were being a great partner, which was informing me. It was good. It was good. And yet, perfect example, right, of how my body... I'm wearing tights again, gentle audience. It's my new favorite Wednesday thing to do.
As soon as she said you were being a great partner, my eyes went to her legs, and then in my mind, it's like, do you want to show me how great of a partner I was being? Okay, let's get back to this one. See, we're basically referring to my penis.
I haven't cried yet.
And you haven't cried yet. We're off schedule.
So, what are we even talking about? Fusion.
I was being a good partner and basically telling you that I needed
Yeah.
to tighten up, and this is what I did with the money that I earned.
Right, but
Yeah.
it caused a reaction, a fusion
Yes,
reaction in
yes,
me.
yes.
Okay, which extreme, isolation or fusion, do you feel you go to?
Easily isolation. Easily. And I think it was where I was safe in my early years, because I was a latchkey kid. Mom showed me how to do laundry in like the 2nd or the 3rd grade. Then all of a sudden I did laundry for the house. I was responsible for cleaning the house. I came and went like to school. I got myself to school and I got myself home. So I was an only child. I remember like staying in my room for hours and playing games and coming up with different scenarios. I would play Starship Troopers for hours in my room, just battling aliens. And in my 20s and my 30s, I knew how to take care of me. And so that's where I go to if I don't feel safe. I go to, fuck this, I will do it by myself. It's kind of what I know. And usually it has to do with a burnout of being in service to you or other people or things that aren't me.
Yeah.
Where I'll go to service overload or service burnout, because again, I know how to do that really well. That kept me safe also. Pardon me, I'm so phlegmy. That kept me safe also. That made me a lot of money in college, literally being in the restaurant industry, so being a server. What else? It's what I knew to keep me safe with my mother. It's how I could pacify her. And it makes me a lot of money to this day because I'm in sales, service industry online.
I often say to my clients that some of these biggest woundings, some of these safety-seeking behaviors that we developed often became a superpower.
Yeah.
And it is okay to hold a both-and approach to this. It is okay that it is your strongest suit and that, oh my goodness, our friends love being here because we both simultaneously, when we host Thanksgiving, which we'll get to do next week, we love the process and it is visible. It is visible that you and I together are engaged in serving. And it is also okay for us to understand that we have overdeveloped one of the quadrants on the wheel of consent, and that without careful noticing, we could go to burnout, we could go to exhaustion, we could go to martyrdom, savior complex, and then just be resentful at the fucking world. It's okay for both of these. It's okay to say, this is one of my greatest skills and most toxic traits. It's okay to do that.
One of my biggest wake-up moments was getting introduced to the good boy complex or the theory.
Yeah.
The theory of being a good boy, which was like, oh, that's me. And then it was, hey, are you running around really taking care of Lauren? And then are you resentful at her that she is not reading your mind and running around and taking care of you? But you're not asking for it. You're not making requests or using your words. But you are resentful that she's not mind reading well enough. And that's a tough fucking pill to swallow. because I'm the guy that like, yo, yeah, my ego doesn't rule me. And it's like, oh, it rules you in very slippery, sneaky ways. So that was a big wake-up call of like, oh, fuck, for me.
Did we talk about, I'm just sitting here beaming with pride, about our most recent
I'm just trying to get laid after this.
navigation of a conversation on the train home from New York? I think we talked a tiny bit about it, but I don't think we really dove into it. And I would love to unpack that a little bit and praise you, because you did something we have never been able to do before. There's the tears.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I set that up?
Please.
And then we can kind of talk about that really uncomfortable experience on the train coming home. Should I reset the cameras?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that so we have that full 29. Okay, so recently we were in New York City for my Soho House residency, and beautiful, beautiful time. We love being in that city together. Amazing event. And it came time for the commute home. And we're packing up. And you brought up something that we had talked about prior to, I think, on vacation even. And you had said, on vacation, is it okay if I bring this back up later? And I had said, yes, totally fine. So you had brought it up. You were checking in on it. The reason I'm being vague is it's really not important to what is about to happen. And it caused a reaction in my body. And I started to go to my isolatory place. I could feel it. I could feel like zoom, which then as I could feel me going to my isolatory place, I could feel you just being in your isolatory place, but also in a place of, wow, I brought a want forward, I brought a request forward, and now she's going to isolation. I can feel it, which is then making me feel a certain way that she's going to isolation. And why does she get everything she wants? So I'm like hearing all of this, even though none of it's being said. So we're packing, we're getting to the train station. God bless our taxi driver or Uber driver decides to just kind of stop in the middle of moving traffic, which is their prerogative in the middle of New York City. But we were already in a shifty, shaky place. And then we have to hop out in moving traffic on 34th Street. Trey's nervous system goes from maybe a resiliency score of 2 to -2.
3.5 to like a 1.5. It took me down 2 notches for sure.
For sure.
I left my phone in the car.
I got it.
I was
thankfully.
so frazzled that like, oh my God, why are we getting out in the middle of the street on
Everybody's
a green
honking
light? On a green
horns
light.
at our driver. It was wild.
Yeah.
For Trey. I was like, nah.
Uh-huh.
So we get inside. It is obvious to me that somebody's nervous system is shot. So I'm like, this is not the time to engage. I went and got my typical Magnolia Bakery mini tiny banana pudding.
Yeah.
Which usually brings some joy to Trey. He just looked at it like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we're low. We are low.
Yeah.
And we haven't been relationally this low in a while. So it's interesting, and the reason I'm glad we're talking about this is I was discussing this with clients yesterday, the ability to hold fast in oneself in these moments. The ability to say, yes, this is a temporary discomfort, and I still choose partnership.
Boy, is that hard when resiliency is low. Okay, so resiliency scale, we just use 1 through 5. 5 is like I can jump through a wall. 4 is I can accomplish fucking anything. 3 is like I'm good to go for the basic tasks. I get to do them. I'm in like a kind of a willing, wanting phase, and here we go. 2.5 is like, 2 is like I probably need to be in bed. Watching TV, and a 1.8 is like you can't throw anything at me, and then a 1 is like no. Mm-hmm. A 1 is like I need to take a bath or a shower, catch a quick masturbation, and go to bed.
This is beautifully described, my love. Beautifully.
You're welcome. Oh, and also, you're welcome.
So we didn't do a resiliency check-in. We could have, but I think.
No, you did. And I said, I was like, I'm at like a 2.
When
or
we were
1.8.
sitting on the ground in the train
no,
station?
No, right when I got out of there, she's like, hey, you did check in.
Oh.
Immediately. And I shared out loud. I was like, why did we do it that way? I felt like a child.
I know.
I felt like a 40-year-old fucking child where it's like, why did we do it that way? Why did we get out? I left my phone in the car, That fucked me up. And it's like, and then I got mad at myself where I was like, why does something like that? Because nobody died. Everybody was fine. It took us 10 seconds. The Uber driver was very sweet.
So kind.
And also, I didn't use my words to like, hey, can we just pull up over on the side right there? I didn't do any of that. So I was mad at myself.
We all know, and faithful listeners know, you have car trauma.
Yeah,
and so I bet
have loud noise.
You have loud noise trauma.
My mom used to scream. My mom used to yell at me as loud as she could in the car. I have visceral memories of actually where we were on the 405, 605, where she would just unload. And actually, some of my youngest memories, it wasn't at me, but it was at other drivers, where she would scream at the top, like the most rage you could ever imagine. It would be at other drivers. And I remember observing it when I was maybe 3.
Yes. So I think what we need to consider there, right, is that an outcome of that in a little 3-year-old body is, I don't ever want to be the person that somebody is yelling at like that. I'm not going to make someone that angry. And so by the nature of us stopping in the middle of the street, we were inconveniencing a lot of people.
There's a weird thing for me in my body too.
Yeah. Okay.
Where I don't ever want to be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
It's like a unhealthy level of like,
yes.
I don't want to be in the way.
Yes. I think it is beautiful. But when I see it really become upsetting to your nervous system is in those situations where it's just okay. Mm-hmm. It's just okay. So that happened. Oh, great. I'm glad I asked about resiliency. I am. So we're seated on the floor in Moynihan, just waiting for our train. It was supposed to be kind of this fun, like, oh, we get a bite to eat and we hang out. That was not happening. So Trey's on his phone, like doing some self-soothing. That's fine. And some self-auto-regulation. I think I kind of just did the same. And so now we've had a difficult conversation. We've had me kind of go to isolation. We've had a stressful car moment. And now we're sitting on a hard ground. And we're like, okay, this was obviously not the time to re-engage in the conversation because A, our track was going to be announced at any time. B, you had just been startled out the wazoo. You were at like 1.8 resiliency. Not the time. It's just not the time to re-engage in conversation, to have a curious moment. There's not capacity in the body to go to curiosity. So in that moment, I chose, and I'm curious what was going through your body, if there felt like any choosing, if it felt like tending. I chose to just hold fast. Like, now's not the time. I need my partner to have this conversation, and he is not capable. And I also think that my resiliency, because in those moments, what I tend to do is go to overfunctioning. And so I was really trying to watch that carefully, is I didn't want to start to I can start to try to make everybody else happy. I can start to...
You can try. It usually backfires.
It usually backfires, but I exhaust myself in the trying too. Uh-huh. So I thought, okay, well, the only thing we know is not to do the things we've done in the past, so let's just be still. So our train track is announced. We go down. I think getting on the train was all pretty simple.
It was easy, yeah.
Yeah, that was all normal. So we're sitting on the train. I don't think we spoke.
No, not really.
I know I took a trauma nap.
Great.
Yeah. So Trey has his own...
Where did the trauma come from? Did it come from me or did it come from you? Or where did the trauma come from to take a trauma nap? So my body immediately goes to, I'll never do enough. I'm failing. Got it.
I knew the next sentence.
Yeah.
So...
And then our conversation before, because I thought I did a really good job. This was before the car thing. I thought I did a really good job of staying in curiosity.
You did.
And then as soon as the car thing happened and my resiliency got lowered, it was just the shadow side of the, I can't even put a need out there or a want out there, without, it's like it's never a good time. That's what I told myself.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's never a good time, and Lauren, let's just cater to her.
And to me, my shadow side came out of, here I've worked my ass off to get us here. This was my work trip. I am trying so hard to create greater possibility and expansion for us. It's all on me. I will never do enough for him, right? Like, I've done all of these things for him. Does he not even see that this is all for us? And now I'm failing because I didn't also simultaneously consider this thing. And I'll never have that kind of capacity or bandwidth for him.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to fail him.
Got it.
And yeah, I mean, shadows.
Yeah.
So
these are the lies that we tell ourselves
Yeah.
in moments of low resiliency,
low resiliency and
high frustration.
yeah,
And maybe not at each
maybe
other.
even vulnerability, right? Because when we ask for something, it's so scary to want.
Yeah, and we're dealing with pretty much a cocktail of like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I take a trauma nap because this is every story that I've ever believed, and it's not Trey throwing this at me. It's every story I've ever believed that overwhelms my nervous system. And so what my body can easily do, especially if we're on a moving piece of transportation, is fall asleep like that. So I fell asleep so fast and then woke up. It's interesting because I was a colicky baby. I don't know if we've actually ever talked about this. So the thing that my parents would do, the only thing that could soothe me was a ride in the car. And so they'd put me in the car and I would fall straight asleep. And I have so many wonders about the roots of all of this because the only person who could truly calm me, they will tell these stories forever, was my grandfather. My grandfather was also the most excited person for my arrival on this earth. And so I deeply wonder if little Lauren could sense what a burden she became to her parents. And I was a C-section, so I caused deep trauma to my mother's body.
I was a C-section baby.
I think I came in and ruined a lot. And I understand now as a mother because when the baby was born, I remember thinking, what have I done? What have I done? This is a lot. So all that to say, I think that since infancy, moving transportation has connected to my nervous system of, oh, sleep now, and it'll calm you. So I wake up from trauma nap, and I'm like, okay, I moved from maybe my 2 to 2.5. And I say to Trey, how are you doing? And he goes, not good. And I was like, okay, do we want to try to talk about it? And I think you asked for listening or what? Yeah. What do you remember about this time? Because we basically delicately, tenderly talked and paused talking for the entire train ride home.
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, we would have big breaks.
It was long. Yeah, we'd have big breaks. It was long, though. It was hard. I also added in my frustration with the baby, too. So my frustration, remember how I added in my frustration with the baby?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a tipping point, too, where it's like, I am frustrated with her.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh, I'm frustrated with the two most important women in my life. It's like, fuck. Yeah. And that was a tipping point for me where I was like, you know, fuck it. I won't. I went to like a martyrdom thing.
But
where I go, I won't bring shit up. You can just do whatever you want. You know what? I'll go play fucking golf. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is what I want to applaud. No, because you didn't just do that. You asked, I swear, maybe I'm just over dramatizing and over glorifying you. So tell me if I'm giving you too much praise. I think you asked for listening. And you said the story I'm telling myself and the shadow sides that are coming up are and you
the old tropes.
You did. And you highlighted them all. You brought the baby's lack of responsibility for the few chores, right? And the demanding of the money and this Apple Pay thing that's being a bitch. And you brought it all up. You did. And to my credit, I guess, I just listened because that's what a person does when they've agreed to a listening turn. And I think I asked for one in response. And I shared some of my stuff. I think I shared I'm the failure trope, the old stories that I'm telling myself, the shadows that are coming up, that I'll never be enough for you, and that I can do this and this and this, but it'll never truly be enough, and that Trey's way is the only way and the best way, and if I don't do it that way, then I fail. So I think we both said those things. And there was just this moment, and this is the one I really wanted to talk about, where we had said that, but then there was no resolvement. Neither of us had really had the capacity to like be the bigger person and resolve in this moment. So this is what happened.
I wouldn't say that.
Can I tell the rest of my piece? Because this is what's amazing. You can say like, no, this is what I feel. You were looking out the window and I said, can you tell me like kind of what's going on inside? And you said basically what you were just saying. I want to say, fuck it all. I want to say, you guys figure it out. I'm going to go play golf. I want to run away, I think is what the terms you used. And I said, yeah, I know. And can you stay with me? And you turned to me and you said, yeah, I can do that. And I think maybe we just held hands and snuggled for a second. Like there was some form of, I got you.
Physical
connection.
Like,
I've got you. And then I think we paused the conversation again.
Maybe I think I went to the food cart and got snacks or something.
Yeah.
I brought you back pistachios.
Pistachios. I do remember a pistachio moment. Yeah. What were you going to say, though? Because I said something and you were like, I disagree. Do you remember? I was going to say I didn't think either of us really had the capacity to be like wrapping it up at that moment, like being the bigger person.
It wasn't anything to wrap up at that moment.
No.
And neither one of us, I don't want to say surrender, but neither one of us were done trying to figure it out. The puzzle wasn't solved yet. That's all it was.
Yes.
And I can see where people can try to solve it or try to be agreeable or say I'm sorry too quickly to try to end the discomfort, placate the other person. I get it.
And we are working so hard on not doing that.
Thank you for saying, please stay with me, because the worst thing I could have done is physically remove myself from the space. And where do I fucking go? I'm on a train. What am I going to do? Just angry sit in the food cart? All those are 4 tops. 4 people sit there. I can't solo sit there for fucking 5 hours.
Not Trey.
What am I going to do? Hide in a bathroom or something? Angry?
So
They're disgusting. So thanks for asking, because you could have... Shit, if you were to say, yeah, go. Like, go figure it out. I would have left. God, it would have been the worst fucking thing ever.
It would have been comical.
Oh, comically, yeah. For other people.
I mean, for other people, yeah, not for
tragic
us.
For us.
No, so we stayed and we sat in discomfort. Yeah. Literally sat in discomfort in our little train seats. Not really train seats, they're big train seats. Then I think we read, I think I was reading my fantasy bond book, which was truly helpful. And then at some point...
I was reading Will of Consent by Dr. Betty Martin and Robin
The
Nelson.
irony of me reading a book about relational bonds and you reading a consent book.
Yeah, book about communication and consent, yeah.
It's not lost on us. So then we do eventually go to the cafe car.
That was in the evening.
I know. That
was after DC.
We sat in discomfort for a long time.
We were still trying to figure out the thing. And
I know.
And it finally came to like... It came to me like, honey, you need to state what you want now.
This was cool. This is the part that I really wanted to get to.
Go ahead.
Not only praising you, but also saying, okay, so we started talking about this thing. And again, it was really based upon reciprocity. Trey was putting a want forward. And it got to the point where I was trying to do this wild thing that I don't know if I've ever done. Maybe I have. Where I was trying to feel out what Trey's response would be.
It's like word fucking salad.
If I said no to his request.
God damn.
Right? I was trying to ensure, I could feel my nervous system wanting to avoid the threat of a disconnection. So I was like risk assessing, but my poor beloved's brain, I was scrambling and he was getting so frustrated, rightly so.
Actually, it was a big relief and a big for me, where it's like, here you go. Mm-hmm. You get to state your want. You're an adult. You do this for a living. You can say no to me. There aren't going to be any repercussions. Ball's in your court. Mm-hmm. And then I'd have to kind of bring you back to that. Yeah. This was the first time of like, no more word salad. You don't make friends with salad. Shout out to The Simpsons. But here you go. And it was such a relief. It was such a grounding moment where it was in my body. It was like, I feel relief now, because it's almost complete for me. Yes. Where it's like, no, there you go. And he kept like, oh, we should do this. And I go, hey. This is yours to do now.
Yes.
My work, our work, your work. Yeah. There you go. Figure it the fuck out, lady.
It was so beautiful. Because he said, babe, you can tell me no. And I would much more appreciate a no because it's clear than whatever the fuck you're doing right now. And honey,
all the shit we do is like, yeah,
yes. And
there's safety in asking for what you want. It's all the shit we do.
So then he says, and if you're having a hard time telling me no, you need to talk to your person about
talk
that.
to your fucking people. Yeah.
Because that's not my work.
Yeah.
To help you figure out how to say no to me, because you can say no to me. And it was this like boom clarifying moment in my brain. So good. That permission piece, honey, set me free. It was this wild thing because then I looked at you, right? In my house, just FYI, I was not allowed to say no to my father. Not at all. And if I disagreed with a choice, I was allowed to say, may I appeal? Like it was a fucking court of law. So my nervous system does have a hard time saying no to a man who is in my familial realm. Like it really, truly does. But so I'm looking at Trey, my beloved, going, yeah, he's right. Like I could say no to this man and he would respect this no because that's a foundation of our fucking relationship.
That would be my work to do.
100%. If he threw that back at me, I literally teach this shit. And he was calling me out on it, which was so beautiful. But it is hard to be called out about that when you're in the middle of that space. So then, once you gave me that permission, I knew that I had a standing date with my coach coming up. So it was like, great, I will do that. But then also I thought, well, wait a second. Is it a no? So I brought up the willing and wanting scales that we were taught at Like a Pro. And I just pulled them out for myself. And I looked at these scales and I said, is it a full no? And then all of a sudden I was like, not at all. It's a yes with limits. It's a yes, I will if you. It's a tell me more. It's a I feel the pull. But mostly it was a yes with limits. I was like, well, holy shit. So I asked if I could show you some of these things. And you were like, yeah. And I said, it's a yes, I will if you. And you were like, okay, well, what's the if I? And I said, I need some time alone. I said, to be quite honest, I haven't had my alone time on a weekend in over a month. Even on vacation, right? Like I haven't had my little hermit cove moment where I process things like this. So a way that you could support me, the yes, I will, if you, would be to help me prioritize that time, to carve it out, to protect it, to be like, hey, you said you wanted this. Is there anything I can do to support you taking this for yourself? And I was like, that is feeling really good. That feels like a yes. Like, I'm interested in this. I know what I need in order to truly sit with that. And we were both like, okay. Didn't change our exhaustion, didn't change the fact that we had really struggled through this for an entire 8 hours. Didn't change our exhaustion, didn't change any of that. But I felt, I don't know how you felt at that moment, really clear. And knowing that I did need to sit in the no thing. I also said I would love to bring in best friend Jay to talk about some of this. And so we had him over for brunch on the weekend, really talked through some of this. He said to me, again, I don't think it's a no in your body. I think it's a yes and if. And I was like, okay, well, that's really neat to get like feedback from the people who know us well. Then I got my alone time on a Monday night. And sure enough, came out of that with all of the clarity that I needed. Literally. Days later, then got to talk to my coach yesterday, the day before. And we really talked about that concept as well. And that no is hard. It is really hard to deliver a no. And yeah, to wrap it up, I was just so incredibly proud, oh my God, of the way we sat in discomfort on that train and did some shadowboxing. We literally named it as shadowboxing. Like you were like, the story I'm telling myself, the shadow is. And I was like, the story I'm telling myself, my shadow is. And we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I don't think, do you have any different memory, that we ever like purposely wounded the other?
We don't argue that way.
No, but like you could have gotten up and been like, fuck this and left.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we didn't do that.
I also know in the actual moment where I want to do that the most, how detrimental that can be. But we don't go after each other in that way. We never have.
Yeah. When you think back on the train ride, what are your biggest takeaways?
It's hard to talk about hard things with low resiliency.
Yes.
Trey needs movement. Like having hard conversations. We've learned this over and over again. I need to be outside. I need to be walking.
Yeah.
I am much more creative. I can go to curiosity much more easily. I would take away where it's like, hey, it's okay to couch. It's like, hey, we got to pause on this. I got to come back for this, this, and this. Because I want to solve it now, and I want to do it now. And it's like, even for me, it's like, dude, do a check-in. Where are you at? Where are you physically at? Maybe pause. Oh, and then the thing with Lauren is she needs her hermit time and her space to have really big discoveries. She needs her time off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want you to protect your time off, honey. I really do. And that's like the last couple of days she's been with her days off. She has Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, or like Tuesday's an admin day, but she put things on her calendar, work stuff, all 3 of those days. So, but that's up to you. But like I see a happier woman, honey. So no, never mind. I take that away. I take away your autonomy because I'm a man. So yeah, I really want you to protect that time because you are a better mother and partner when you have your time off.
My hermit time. Sure.
You have your hermit time. Also, it doesn't affect your lovemaking because that has been top notch.
I definitely think you are better in those situations. And sometimes we're stuck on a train with our partner for 8 hours. And we don't get off and take a walk. And so sometimes we utilize tools and space and breaks and choices to be kind and treat each other with respect. And yeah, I was just really proud of you for staying in curiosity more than I have ever seen you before. I was really proud of you for not running away. I'm getting all the signs that it is time to wrap up this podcast. So thank you for coming to this episode of the Partnership Podcast with Lauren and Trey. Keep in mind, these are our opinions and our opinions only. Take what you like, leave the rest. You have a right to informed decision-making and self-determination. If anything we said on this podcast piqued your curiosity, you can go to sexedforyou.com/free consult and request a consult with me. And be sure to like, share, subscribe as Trey does his develope to take us out. Thank you for being here, friends, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.